Well, let's talk to Tom Jenkins, the CEO of the European Tourism Association, who joins us from Machynlleth in mid-Wales. Tom, good to see you. There's a pandemic that continues to kill many people in many parts of the world. Does your industry not have any sympathy with governments around the world who will say to you, look, health first, holidays are a luxury, sadly?
I think, of course, we've got huge sympathy with any government struggling with what is a major crisis. But I think all that these people are doing in Westminster today is pointing out that all measures in this area have a cost. And travel may be perceived as a luxury, but it is actually a vital part of the economy, not just in the UK, but throughout Europe. And I think what you were hearing today was just the tip of the iceberg of the impact that having no travel industry is going to have throughout the economy. I mean, if you look at London, for example, 50% of the spend in Oxford Street is tourists. 40% of the occupancy of theatres are tourists. And if you take tourists out of London, there's not a lot left there, or what there is just a shadow of its former self of dubious viability.
Difficult to do a snapshot of an entire continent, but how precarious is the travel industry right across Europe at the moment?
Well, I'm probably one of the few that think the travel industry is actually quite robust. It can cope with horrible shocks, and it will recover from this. But the consequences of this happening is going to be felt everywhere, particularly when combined with the decline of office occupancy in central cities. I think you're going to find the tourism, leisure tourism will recover, and it will start to recover the moment these restrictions are eased. But the consequences for what cities are going to look like in the near future is going to be very, very interesting. We're not sure what it is, but it will be different.
The UK government, if they were here, would say, look, the government showered the travel industry with millions and millions of pounds of furloughed taxpayer cash. Why should the airline industry be a special case here?
Well, I don't speak for the airline industry in particular. I think the only thing to be said is that the airline industry, and it's a complex industry, morally complex industry in some ways, the airline industry is utterly vital to get tourism going again, and tourism is utterly vital for the modern economy. So there is a £30 billion hole in the UK economy because we're not receiving any tourists. There's hundreds of billions of euros hole within the European economy, and everything is contingent on things getting back to work again. And work is not a luxury, it's a vital part of the way the modern economy works.
We're still not sure, though, what that new normal looks like, are we? I wonder, is the pandemic the start of the travel industry's upheaval? We've got carbon taxes, pollution taxes, all on the horizon, along with the perhaps permanent decline of business travel, where companies simply make staff work from home or do business on Zoom and no longer travel on airlines around the world.
I think the short answer is that tourism has survived shocks. Few have been as big and as horrific as this, but tourism has survived shocks and it will survive this one. People will still need to travel to do business. You can't do everything impersonally, so to speak, virtual, effective though this process that I'm talking to you at the moment is. I think people will still want to do business in person, and people will certainly want to see the things they want to see and experience the experiences they want to have in person. So the demand is robust. Every market that my members work in, and they work in every market in the world that sells, where they can sell Europe, there is huge demand, huge pent-up demand for people who want to come back and do the things they want to do. They want to have a real experience again, and this is a universally held impulse. So I'm sure things will come back. It's what the process is going to be like before that happens, and this we don't know.
Tom Jenkins from the European Tourism Association in Machynlleth in mid-Wales. Thank you very much.
Thank you.